All right, guys, what's happening? What's happening? Happy Monday to you. It's Monday, April 12th, 2021. Man, it's good to be back with you guys here. And this morning, we're going to talk about the relationships that can change your life. What are those relationships? How do you create them? How do you make them better? We're going to talk about a lot about relationships this morning. Let's get started.
It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.
All right, guys, what's happening? Good morning to you and happy Monday, man. It's good to be back. I'm almost back to normal. I'm pretty close. I'm good enough to play, that's for sure. Thank you guys for all the messages last week, all the texts, all the DMs, all the concern. I appreciate it, man. I was pretty under the weather last week and kept fighting through it, but ended up going to the doctor and getting some medicine and getting some things handled on Friday. So I feel a lot better today. I'm sure I'll continue to feel a lot better as the week goes on. But this morning, I wanted to talk about relationships. It was a good reminder. Last week, I had a bunch of things that kind of triggered this thought of relationships. It was, people following up with me or checking in with me when I was, not feeling so well. Had some business things happen, good and challenging that both, kind of brought relationships to the surface. And so I wanted to talk to you guys about relationships this morning because I think it's one of the most important things that we can be aware of and that we can continue to make new relationships and continue to strengthen those relationships that we do have already so that we end up in the best place in life and we end up living a full life, because that's ultimately the goal, right? So before we get started here, I want to say good morning. What's happening, Nathaniel Banks? Good morning to you, Jared Bird. Carla, good morning. Scott, Tammy, Trudy, Sanjay, Scott, and Eddie, good morning. Good morning to you guys, and thank you for being here. So relationships that can change your life. I mean, you never know who it's going to be. You never know what it's going to be. You never know when the next person that you meet could be that one individual person that can literally change your life. And, that person, for some of you, if you're still single, the next person could be your spouse. The next person could be your best friend. It could be your business partner. It could be somebody that unlocks an opportunity for you that you didn't know existed. And that opportunity can turn into an absolutely life-changing thing. And that has happened to me several times. And so relationships are the key to everything. It's the key to unlock every door that you ever wanted to unlock in your life. Whoever is out there that can unlock those doors for you, they hold the key to what you want and what you need and kind of what adds to your life. And so I want you guys to think about that when you go into today. What are you doing to establish new relationships? What are you doing to strengthen the ones that you already have? And how are you making yourself available so that when that relationship comes, that one relationship that can change your life, you are open to that. You are prepared for that. You are the best version of yourself that allows you to accept that relationship and convert that into what it has the potential to be. And that is, it's an amazing feeling, to be surrounded by the right relationships. It truly makes you feel unstoppable when you have the right people around you. And so I want to talk to you guys this morning about 6 simple tips of how you can make sure that these relationships that can change your life can actually happen for you, right? There are things that you have to do to create relationships or to make sure that those relationships that you do have continue to be great. All right, here we go. Number 1, go all in. Do whatever it takes in those relationships to create the relationships that you want. So go all in. Do whatever it takes, right? Go the extra mile. Show that person how much you care. Show how motivated you are to have a relationship with them, whether it's personal or professional. Number 2, be considerate. go out of your way to stand out and to serve others at another level. So if you are considerate to others, you are literally always going the extra mile. You're always doing that thing that somebody needs you to do. You're always sending that extra message that somebody needs to hear, encouraging them, being that person for them that kind of inspires them and motivates them to be better. So be considerate. Number 3, be a great listener. This is one for me, guys, that I have not always, been great at. And I have been inspired myself by my mentor and my advisor, Jay Duran, who is an incredible listener. And, for me, having Jay in my life and having Jay teach me to listen through listening himself has been one of the greatest gifts that I could ever receive. And so being a great listener is really important in relationships. And I promise you this, when you figure out that those people in your life are actually listening to you, those people become extremely valuable, not just because they are listening to you, but because of the things that you will figure out, because they actually listen. They listen intently. They actually are curious about the things that you have going on in your life. And that helps you be able to talk through things, right? So being a great listener is going to create relationships that you never imagined you could have, because so many people don't do it. So many people listen to respond, not to understand. And when people listen to respond, it's just a normal conversation. But when people listen to understand and they genuinely are curious about what you were talking about, they will hold a special place in your life. And I bet today, if you think about the number of people that actually listen to you, that genuinely hear you, that there will only be a select few of them. And those people all hold a very special place. In fact, you probably call them first when something happens, because they listen, because they hear you out. They want to understand you better. And that person is very special. So be a great listener. The world needs more of it. Number 4, lean in when there's conflict. Most people run. Most people don't have, they just don't have the patience. They don't have the understanding. They don't have the desire to actually want to lean into the conflict, to figure out what it is that they can learn from it. And here's the truth, guys. There's always going to be conflict. We are going to be defined in our lives by how we handle that conflict. We will be defined by those people around us by how we handle the most challenging moments and embrace the conflict or run from it. Because it's very easy to do it the wrong way. It's very easy to write people out of your life. It's very easy to terminate an employee. It's very easy to break off a friendship, especially in today's world. But to have real relationships that will actually change your life, you have to be willing to sit there in the fire of discomfort and figure it out. And when you do that, you're going to have relationships that you never imagined you would have, because you're actually going to understand more people. You're going to have more friends. You're going to have better business relationships. You're going to have more people that trust you because you're willing to embrace the conflict. That's number 4. Number 5, tell the truth always, and especially when it hurts, because people need to hear the truth. They deserve to hear the truth. And good friends and people that actually care about you will tell you the truth. And you have to be willing to accept it. And you also have to be willing to give it. Most importantly, when you're telling the truth, is to do it with respect and with grace. But you always tell the truth. To be clear is to be kind, Glenn Lundy says. And that's part of this. To be clear is to tell the truth. To tell the truth is to give everybody a gift. And last but not least, number 6 on my list here, work on the most important relationship that you have in your life first, the one with yourself. Because I see many, many people trying to establish relationships and trying to attract people and trying to, do business deals. Until you love yourself, until you figure yourself out, you cannot possibly be the best to others. You cannot possibly welcome the level of relationships that you deserve to have in your life. But once you figure yourself out, once you can look in the mirror, you can like that guy, you can like that girl, and you can be proud of what they do every day. You're going to get all kinds of relationships in your life, again, that you never imagined were possible. And you're going to get that because people see a purity in you. They see that you tell the truth. They see that you are who you are. Even if they don't like it, they will respect you for being the person that you actually are. I have a lot of people that follow me that probably don't like me. But there's probably a level of respect for what it is that I do. There's no other reason I could have for the reason that they follow me. Because I hear some of the things that people say, right? People repeat things. So why would they be following you? They follow you because they see something in you that maybe they don't have yet. They see something in you that maybe they want, a small piece of what you represent. They would like to duplicate in their life. But they respect you for being yourself. And so they're able to follow along. And eventually, those people that may not like you might convert and become your friends because they eventually see more things that they could respect or like. But relationships, those external relationships, start with the internal relationship that you have with yourself. If there are things you don't like about yourself, I would suggest you start there. Get some help, ask for advice, create consistency in your own life so that you can look in the mirror and like and love that guy or that girl that's looking back at you. Because if you don't, it's going to cause all kinds of issues with other people that are actually have more to do with you than they have to do with anybody else. And so when you think about that, think about how important that relationship is with yourself. Think about those things that you've been putting off that you wanted to do. That might be the one thing that's holding you from that one relationship that can completely change your life. And what a shame that would be if it was your fault and something completely in your control that is the reason that holds you back from establishing and finding a relationship that could change your life, that could change your family's life, that could change your family's life for generations, your children's lives. So those relationships that you build them on the principles that you stand for. When they're built on the principles that you stand for, these principles that we talked about this morning, they will change your life. They will pour into you like nothing else. They will give you confidence when you used to not have it. They will give you the motivation that you've always wanted and wondered how other people had it. They will give you business opportunities, friendships, new relationships, new opportunities will be all around you. And they will also never allow you to feel lonely. So for those of you who have felt lonely, maybe you're feeling lonely right at the time. That's a feeling that you have because you don't have the right relationships in your life. If you have the right relationships, if you have real relationships that are not surface level, but real friendships, real relationships, you will never, ever feel lonely in your life. Because those people won't allow it. They will sense that. They will reach out to you. And they will never allow you to feel that way. So think about it, guys. These steps that I just went through, these 6 suggestions that I have for you on how to build relationships that will change your life. They will take away all those feelings you don't want, and they will bring in all the feelings that you do want. So go all in. Be considerate. Be a great listener. Lean into conflict when it happens. Tell the truth, always, especially when it's uncomfortable. And last but not least, work on yourself first. Look inward before you ever look outward. Find those things that you want to do different in your own life. And you will start to see changes around you that you never imagined possible. I'm telling you guys, I've lived it. I've lived it. I've successfully built these relationships. Many of them. Lots of them. So I encourage you this Monday to not just look at how you can build new relationships, but look at maybe how you can solve the ones that you have right now. Maybe you're having some challenges. How do you solve them? Well, I would encourage you to be a great listener, to embrace conflict. Listen first, and don't worry about your own feelings. Worry about the feelings of somebody else, of whoever you're having an issue with. And when you do that and you listen, you become a pretty good friend and a pretty good person for them to rely on. And as you get those people in your life, man, it's the gift that keeps on giving. Relationships will be the thing that change your life, without a doubt. You will not do it alone. There's no such thing as self-made. There's only made with others. So I encourage you to look at the relationships you have in your life. Maybe think about, are you taking enough time in your life to make some new ones, right? Are you establishing enough new relationships that you're giving yourself the opportunity to meet that person that can change your life, whether it's in business or personal or whatever it is? Maybe it's somebody at your church. When you give yourself the opportunity and you think about these things and you put in the effort, you will reap the harvest. I promise. That's it, guys. As Hal said, let's kill it this week, everyone. Let's go after it. Get it. Give to people, man. Hold the door. Be kind. Listen to people. Embrace conflict when it occurs in your life. Lean into it. Listen. You might just learn something about yourself and about the other person. I appreciate you guys for being here. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. Same place, same time, right here on Morning Perspective. Love you guys. Thanks for being here.